Okay, hold on. I might have to be quick about.
Okay.
The feedback. Hold on.
Okay. It's streaming live on YouTube.
Are we streaming live? Let's see, y'all. Oh, look at y'all. Let's see. How did I do it last time? Okay. I think this is how I did it. Okay, so we are we are live on YouTube.
Live around
Can
the
you
world.
hear me?
Yep.
Well, I have to mute the other screen because you'll hear both, and that's just gonna start getting weird. So, whoo, I've been running around. Look at me. Let me just do one more Instagram
Okay.
Go ahead.
post now. I'm gonna tag you guys.
I didn't say the link is in bio type of. Let me see if I can.
Yeah, just we're live on YouTube now, but we're all like trying to market at the same time. So this is how it is.
But this is actually what our conversation is about. What you have to do in today's fitness world, right?
Yes. And Tina, dang.
Got to be everywhere at all times.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh,
that's the struggle,
isn't it though?
Mm-hmm. Being everywhere at all times.
Yeah. You make it these days as a fitness entrepreneur, you will be made of steel by the end of this.
I mean, pretty much, right? Jeez.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
It is definitely a different world, I guess, depending on where you want to, like the question that Mel has about whether the difference between live or in person or live online.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I'm going to, okay, we are official now. Okay, so everybody, I just, oh wait, do you guys want to share anything? Tina, you did 2 already.
Oh, you posted on my social?
Yeah, I posted on social.
Yeah.
I guess I'm being the lazier of the two.
No, it's okay.
Yeah, no, it's all good. Because the fact that you're recording is great.
All right.
Yeah.
So we're good to go.
Okay.
And I'm going to record now. All right. Well, welcome you guys. Welcome officially. I just want to let you guys know too that I am also recording an audio version. Eventually I want to get into podcasting. So my good friend Fela from One-on-One Studios, production studios, she said that, you can package this stuff later. So I was like, oh, cool. I can just have like a bunch of stuff for her to package for me when I finally get to the podcast, which I will eventually. So I want to welcome everyone, and I want to welcome my 2 guests to Movement is Live, episode 5. I'm very excited to have my 2 very good friends. They're fitness professionals as well, and they both we've all known each other for years now. And last year, as everybody knows, hit us all hard in the fitness industry. And Tina and Nisan are 2 of the ones that I always kept watching for inspiration, number 1, but also to check on you guys. And we're always bouncing ideas anyway, like bouncing ideas off of each other anyway. So it's like, it's cool to see you guys still thriving despite the panini that we are in, the global pandemic. I am going to, so the format is usually just a bunch of questions, but since we are already familiar with each other, I kind of just wanted it to be, kind of I have a bunch of questions laid out, but I would like us to just also just have a conversation. So if it veers, to other directions, then so be it. So all the more better, right? Let me just check YouTube is still going. Yes, you're still live on YouTube. So if you are just catching us, welcome to Fitness Moving Forward, episode 5 of Movement is Live. We are going to be talking about, we're going to be talking to Nisan Trotter, who's on my left here. And Nisan Trotter of TROT Fitness, and we'll be talking to Ms. Tina Tang, who is right below me, and we'll be getting their perspective on the fitness industry moving forward, as well as kind of what they faced and what they went through to get through and get to here we are today. So that being said, I'm going to. I created a slide deck because I'm a complete nerd. So
I love it.
I just, yeah. I'm gonna share my screen. Let's see here. All right.
That's a lot of tabs you have open.
I know I'm not just a nerd, but I'm also like a little bit OCD. So everything I'm like, oh, that's with that. All right. So Tina, why won't you introduce yourself here?
Awesome. My name is Tina Tang, and I'm a latecomer into fitness. I actually started strength training when I was 42, and prior to that, I'm still ongoing. I'm a jewelry designer. I worked on Wall Street as my first, I guess, real job coming out of college, which was a very defining, I guess, professional moment, because it teaches you a lot about how to manage a business, how you work with clients. So all of that has led me here. And right now, my primary focus in terms of fitness is helping women over 40 get stronger.
Nice. All right. And not yet. Okay. Nisan, go for it, sir.
Yes. Thank you so much for having us on, Mel. I'm excited about today. And I am a decade-long fitness entrepreneur now, which really, when you're in fitness is like dog years. For every 1 year, it feels like 7. So I'm extremely excited to be a part of this interview with you. In 2015, I won the Fitness Business Summit Personal Trainer of the Year Award. And what we really do at TROT Fitness is we specialize in roughly about 30 to 45 minutes of fat burning workouts for any fitness level. And we've been doing it at the highest level possible in the small little town of Lewisburg, Pennsylvania, which is in central PA. And it's been quite the experience. I'm loving it.
Oh, okay. And for me, I'm Coach Mel of Coach Mel Movement. I have been coaching since 2015 myself, from large groups. And as of March 2020, I have moved on to doing more personal training, one-on-ones, and small group work. So yeah, so we're gonna get into it. We're gonna talk about how, we're just gonna get into it. Everybody knows if you wanted, I will be repeating these slides so you guys can get our information on our social media handles and things like that, and how to get in contact with us. All right, so first question. All right. What was the first thing? Oh, wait, no, this is not the first question. Hold on. Here's the first question. What were your plans for your business and your own health and fitness pre-shutdown? So BC, before COVID.
Oh, I guess I'll go first.
Sure.
As Mel and I actually used to be training partners when we both worked out of the same small group training studio in Jersey City. So in terms of live training, Mel and I were both training live together. So that's changed drastically. But in terms of business, I had already been focusing more on, I guess, remote and online business. And for anyone that works in fitness, you know that in order to grow, you have either to grow and grow in person means literally having to be there in person all the time. So whether it could be the same application for if you're a doctor or a psychologist or any of those things where you're a service business, if it's in person, you're limited by how many hours in person that you can do. So in order to, I guess, grow like as a trainer, one of the things you need to be able to do to expand is also provide some remote training, or maybe even create programs that are not necessarily something where you have to be side by side with someone, but where some people really do enjoy more of a do-it-yourself format, and they just need a little bit of guidance or structure so that they can follow it, not necessarily with someone holding their hand. So I was working on that pre-BC.
And your own fitness, like what was your plans for 2020 with your own health and fitness?
I'm sure a lot of people feel this way, but it has been a struggle. So in the beginning, I was doing some stuff on my own, but I live in a small apartment, so it'd be in a hallway. Then then what I found more motivating was taking a class. I do like classes. I don't know if you both feel the same way. So being stuck in your own home, having a class, I think the idea of motivation depends on the person. Some people can still motivate on their own just with a program, and I'm usually fine with a program, but I needed some kind of appointment to show up to, because being in a small apartment made it really unmotivating. So that's why like one of the things I created during the pandemic were live online classes with another coach, and it's called Straight Up Strong, and that's been helpful because I know what the people taking the classes feel like, because that's what I feel like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. How about you, Nisan?
Absolutely.
What were your plans like? Before everything started, everything shut down. Like, what were your big plans? What were your big resolutions for 2020?
No question. Well, I did have big plans in 2020 regarding TROT Fitness because we had expanded to our second location in 2018. And if anyone knows anything about fitness businesses on the leadership side of things, and also just managing and trying to grow any type of enterprise, it takes some time for traction. We had already established a name for ourselves in the town over. And so we were already kind of sprawling with the word of mouth, so that when we opened up our doors officially to our second location in 2018, we got off to sort of like a slow start, but eventually in our second location, roughly 100 clients started to turn into about 200 clients. And by 2020, for our second location, we were looking into expanding staff. So I was wired for growth and expansion, like grow in all ways, always. That's how I was thinking.
Yeah.
And for my own health and fitness, this is BC before COVID, as you put it. I was just simply drinking from the Kool-Aid. I love to, like Tina says, be the part. And so I very much try to do our own fitness regimen. We have an amazing exercise programmer and my sister, Shelby Trotter, who we fondly call Major Shelby. And she just brings the thunder. And I was in part doing boot camp workouts roughly about 2 to 3 times per week, and mixing in there some strength training work.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And what were you doing for your own fitness? What were your own plans?
Those were my goals to just work
Oh, just
out.
you wanted to work out. Yeah, gotcha.
Absolutely. Work out as a part of what we
What you
deliver
all
to
do.
our clients, because I want to make sure that I know what they're experiencing. That way I have more credibility when I train. So I
Right.
can say, if I'm able to endure this and I'm able to do this to a certain degree, I know what you're feeling like. It brings more substance to the conversation when I'm pushing them.
Yeah,
What
absolutely.
happened during COVID for you?
Yeah.
Yes, during COVID, we came to what felt like a screeching halt. And we really just simply almost felt like we were moving fast backwards, so to speak. We ended up consolidating and bringing everything that was almost duplicated into one. We pulled back and we tried to imagine ourselves being the absolute best so that people want to come to us in our one location. So we shut down location number 2, and it was hard, very, very hard. Felt like we had let a lot of people down. The relationship that you build in this industry is simply incredible. It really does feel like family. I know you know that, Tina, you know that, Mel. And so
Yes.
that was a hard pill to swallow, especially given too, we went from thinking about expanding staff to cutting our numbers down in staff as well, and really trying to be a one-stop shop and have like a hybrid model of our one location offering in-house services and services online.
Yeah.
In many ways, you're still, I think you did really well, because even in New York City, some of the huge name studios just shut their doors. So whatever you did still is, better than a lot of like big names.
It's
Like,
interesting that you
that's
say that.
traditional. What's that?
Yeah, it's interesting that you say that, because I wholeheartedly feel that for any type of fitness in the enterprise that is still around right now, regardless of what the numbers look like, you're winning. I mean, just to be around. I remember going into the holiday season and reading this stat, and this was during COVID when gyms had already shut down. It was speculated that another 33% of gyms would close by the end of 2020, and we had like 3 months left in 2020. So I think that you're exactly right, Tina. Just to still be around for a number of whether it's one-on-one personal trainers, whether it's online 100%, or a combination of in-house and online, if you're still around, give yourself a pat on the back.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. And I mean, that's why, I mean, I followed, I mean, it's like I'm like checking in on my friends. So I was always just kind of just checking to see like, okay, Tina's got her thing going. Okay, Nisan still, it was literally like that. Like you're checking on your people, because you're seeing so many, unfortunately, unfortunately I saw, here, like, another good friend had to close his, and it was, and it's very sad, like you said, Nissan, it's, you feel like you're letting people down. And and you have all these, like, so that's why I asked that question, like, what were your big plans? um and so, like, and for me, like, my big plan was, like, eventually I would get into, gradually go into like personal training. It would be like very slow and gradual, and then it was like, okay, you don't have a job, you got to do something. And which and for me personally, for my personal fitness, Tina and I were like training for a competition in May and everything. And so all of that had to like come to a screeching halt. March 16th was our shutdown day, here, like officially in New Jersey. And so I remember telling myself, you have one day to feel sorry for yourself. And so I was like, this is the day you're gonna feel sorry for yourself for one day, and then you got to do something. Like, you got to figure something out. And so that leads to my next question. My next question was like, what was the first thing you did? when we shut down, so we shut down on the 16th here. And, you know,
Right.
like I said, I felt sorry for myself that day. And then the next day I ended up going up on a webinar. One of our coaching groups, they had a webinar because everybody was freaking out. So like, they were like, oh, just come in on this webinar. Let's all talk this out. Shout out to Precision Nutrition, my nutrition coaching group. And they had like a panel on there similar to this. And, you know, they were talking about different things that people had already started. I think they were already talking about online training and remote coaching, that same thing that Tina does. And then somebody put out, like, you know, he said that, you know, yeah, sometimes he watches his client online on Zoom. And he, you know, that's how he does his personal training. And so I asked the question in the chat, I was like, you know, would you be able to coach a group on Zoom? And, you know, the moderator saw the question. She was like, you know, I don't see why not. And I was like, okay. That was Tuesday. Then Wednesday, I got like a bunch of Canva stuff together. I was like, you know, let's do this. I got my Zoom account, opened that up. Thursday had the first group class, had the same moderator. She showed up, I thought that was really cool. She showed up for the very first virtual session, and then like the rest is history. But yeah, so what was the first thing you did like after the shutdown?
Well, I'll jump in here. Mel, I think that you are very, very strong because I didn't give myself a day. I needed what felt like a year to sulk. I needed a decade to lick my
let's
wounds.
just say literal sulking. I've been really just sulking for the whole damn year, but like, you know, yes, literal, like I didn't, the covers over the head.
Yeah.
One day.
Well, for me, I remember the first thing I did, one of the first things vividly that I did is I remember calling one of my friends who's also in fitness in New York, and I cried. Grown man tears, you know, big crocodile tears.
Yeah.
Like, let me hang up the phone with you so I can have that ugly face type of tears.
Yeah.
Because I felt that everything that we had built for a decade was falling from underneath us. And it was so, so hard to get to where we were. You start to have flashbacks of what it took to be where you are and to feel everything almost overnight just simply fade. It was hard to come to grips with. And so I let myself feel those emotions and be human. And I just really cried. And that was recovery and healing for me.
Yeah.
And then I immediately thought to myself, what is the next best thing that we can do? And how can we make clients during this shutdown still feel that we are the part? And so I'm one to not want to do the mad dash to do what everybody else is doing, because I always feel like there might be a better way. Because generally, if everybody's going in one direction, I feel like the best decision, go the other way.
You're
and so
downstream. Everybody's upstream.
yeah. And I seen a number of people doing the Zoom live recordings. And it's just interesting for any industry or during different times. There's winners and quote unquote losers. So I seen the winners were like these applications now, like DoorDash, so that you get your food delivered, and then Zoom. And I'm almost jealous of them, right? I'm like, but our industry, what about our industry?
Yeah,
and so, but what we did is we decided to become almost like a media company overnight. We got the equipment in our studio. We still wanted to make sure our staff was in place. So we did apply for the PPP loan so that we could afford our staff. And we didn't want to fire anybody, which we didn't. And we just started to pay our team to start to do recordings on from the studio so that we could offer on-demand workouts through our website.
That's cool. And by the way, that is strength. Okay, so to be able to, you know, feel emotions and all of the emotions and go through them, let's just put that out there.
Thank you.
I can't even imagine. That must be like, I was just thinking about how like Mel, I remember you were when you were foraying into the one-on-one, and that is a big, all of a sudden like, oh, I guess it's going to be a lot faster now. And then having a business and growing like that, and all of a sudden it's not even, it's one thing I feel like if you, something happened and you're like, oh, I made these choices and I went this direction, but literally it was out of your control to like be building that fast, and then all of a sudden be like, you know, and have it literally snatched from underneath you almost overnight. I mean, I guess pretty much overnight. So yeah.
Literally overnight.
Yeah. That's, and I think it's hard when it's a physical business, because you still have landlords, you have a legal commitment. And then even though the landlord should be understanding, you know, they have their whatever bank obligation. So yeah, that's, I can imagine that was a really rough time, because it's almost like, I would imagine a little bit of panic too, like, oh my God, what are we going to do? And then because you have people relying on you. So that, yeah, that's very rough. I think, I'm trying to think, like, I don't think I came up with an answer right away. What I ended up doing, I think about a month after closing, is running like a challenge, an online challenge, which was a month long for just like a handful of people that I knew needed workouts, you know, needed to be moving at home. And it started out that way. I'm like, oh, let me just do a 1 month challenge. So people who are working out at home, like friends or whoever, you know, was interested would participate. And it started like that. I remember one woman who, a friend who normally didn't work out and was like, I need to do something because I'm just sitting on my chair all day. And so she would use water bottles for her workouts. And then from there is where I grew the Straight Up Strong. Like I made it a 1 month challenge, and I was like, let me do one more month. And then I had a co-coach. And then ever since then, you know, we've been just live Zoom workouts. But you're right, Nisan, it is, I think everybody at that point, after the pandemic, everybody in fitness was trying to go online. They were doing free Instagram workouts. Remember, there was constantly lives. There's people doing Zoom workouts. And I think that to be successful in that, it comes to like, who's going to stick with it, right? Like it might not be perfect in the beginning. And the thing is, I don't even think online's necessarily better. I think it depends on the professional. Like some people just want prefer to work in person with clients. That's where they thrive. They coach best that way. And some people like the online. So I guess this time kind of helped elucidate which type of fitness professional I like. Do I want the line? Maybe hybrid works, but it's a lot of work, I can imagine, to have a place and to do online. That's it's almost like two different businesses, because it's, you know, it's two different types of work.
Yeah, how are you managing that? Because you're the only one of us among us who has the studio. So how are you managing both? Like, are you doing what Tina's saying? Are they two different businesses, or how's that working out?
I mean, Tina, you nailed it. It's two different businesses, no question. With also, in certain spots, different sets of skills to be successful. And to your point also from earlier, with the physical location of location number 2, it was really like our baby that we had grown attached to, because we were building it brick by brick. So to have the things that we placed inside of it, brand spanking new, pretty much stripped out of it. And then the last piece, which is the expensive, plush, soft, almost gymnastic type of flooring, you know, you start to think also multiple thousands of dollars poured into this to make it work. And then out of nowhere, you are changing. It was just like hyper speed with the pivot that, you know, it was just tough to manage it all. But it is a different business in terms of now having the hybrid model of in-house and online. And I think some of the biggest differences is, quite frankly, when you are training in front of people versus training in front of a camera, it's like, well, I'm not able to see anybody. I'm talking about when we're recording on demand. Now that we have, Tina, I love your point. You gradually get better at this over time if you're going to stick with it. And so we have bolted onto it now, like the streaming services. We might be, you know, late to the party now, of course, but we have attached that to it. And so it's helpful because you can see people on the screen and coach them, but it still is a lot different because physically being there and like tasting, touching, feeling everything it requires a different skill set.
Yeah, for sure. And what, I mean, I'm curious now, like what kind of equipment are you using, Nissan, like to deliver the live stream? Because you're live streaming your actual classes now, right?
Correct.
So while the teacher is coaching the class, the physical class, they're also coaching someone remote
Exactly.
as well. So how is that working out? Like, and what kind of equipment did you have to invest in?
Yes. So we have a brilliant exercise programmer. I'm not going to take credit for this. I really just let her do her thing. But whenever we're doing circuit training type of workouts and the at-home client doesn't have that equipment, there is always a different move that that client is doing that our coaches will be coaching them on. So they're getting the same effect. And then also too, very minimal next to very little is needed whenever we're doing our sessions right now, because we're still trying to follow as best as we can the CDC restrictions that have been placed on gyms. So we're not using a whole lot of equipment to begin with anyway.
Right.
And so we've been able to I don't want to even say get away with it. I actually want to say we've been able to thrive with helping people with their health and fitness goals with a lot of body weight training. I think that it's amazing how much you can do to tax the body, fatigue the body, make it stronger with no equipment. So we've been using very little next to no equipment to make it work for whether in-house or online.
Absolutely. Yeah. Shouts out to body weight. I mean, I do still love, I love it. I love lifting heavy stuff, but definitely that's actually how I've been able to deliver my services now, is because you're delivering to people who are working out from their home and you don't always have the same equipment. Body weight training has been very, very helpful, and just being creative with that. Yeah. About you, Tina? Because you did straight up strong, and that's I know you had equipment with that. So how did you set that up for them? Like set up expectations?
I'm trying to think. So I think a set of dumbbells is ideal, but some people when they start are like let me take it back. So like for straight up strong, my main goal was consistency, because whether they had equipment or not, and I'm sure it's the same for you, Nisan and Mel, where it's like you just want people to feel consistent, because the motivation to work out from home is very hard if you're taking care of your kids, working from home right there, like, and maybe even just like not even another room away, depending on if you're in an apartment or a house, and then trying to work out. So it's like trying to do everything in the same space. Even someone who's super motivated might not find motivation, because it's like you're not separating yourself. So our main goal was for Straight Up Strong was just getting people consistent. And then it's like, okay, let's work with what you got. So there's always, I think we have to always provide alternatives, right? As fitness professionals,
absolutely.
like, okay, you don't have this, you can use this. You can use like, hey, water bottles, if that's going to be something and is better than nothing, that's what we're going to use. So
Right.
yeah, it's assuming maybe a set of dumbbells, ideally a set of dumbbells and maybe some resistance bands. If not, we'll figure something out and we'll throw suggestions. So I think I know both of you do this too, where it's like this exercise, okay, don't got that, we'll do this one. There's always a substitute for a
modification, for sure. And so that leads me to like my next question. Like that's a challenge. You got to be able to be nimble, and you have to be nimble in the game anyway, right? You have to be very agile. But what challenges are you guys facing still? Do you believe you're still facing now? Like, what challenges are you still facing?
So I know, at least on my end, the challenge will be as things open up, I'm just talking straight business. Well, there's always going to be someone who wants to work out from home because they do work from home, or they have a busy schedule, they've got kids, so it actually works out well for them to take a live class in the middle of the day or at 6 a.m. But the struggle or the challenge will be when things normalize or all the gyms open up and the vaccines out, how to work on the business model from there. So that's, I think that, and then I think no matter what you do when it's online, the difference between online and in person is they both have their challenges, but online is kind of like any online business. You have to constantly be working for, I guess, that sounds so, I can't think of a better word, prospecting. But so it's, whereas in person, there's only a certain amount of gyms in a certain neighborhood. So if someone wants to work out, your competition may be physically who else is around there, and differentiating yourself by the type of, I guess, exercise that you provide. But online, it's like the world is your competition. So it's a different kind of way to maintain business.
Yeah.
So like for Nisan, it's like two different, you're running two businesses, a physical with that challenge, and then the online, which is a whole nother challenge.
Yeah, exactly right. Because I believe at the bare bones of it, the competition is always trying to gain more market share. And that's why we do have two poles in the water right now when we think about our online model and our in-house services. And some of the challenges that we face will be as we continue. Well, one of the biggest challenges I think that all of us face is just overcoming laziness and the inertia of starting again. Because fitness can be super fickle from not people, but necessarily fitness in particular can be fickle from the standpoint of once you stop, it's like don't stop for 2 days straight, because now it's a snowball and it's an avalanche and now a number of clients that were in the habit and in the flow and the routine of things, they're no longer coming back. So a part of it for us has got to be to ingratiate ourselves and definitely reach back out continually to the clients that were coming to the studio and they stopped because of the pandemic and say, hey, we got to get you back going again, almost like enough is enough. So that's one big challenge that we face. Yeah, big time. And then another thing is, so and to use Tina's word, talking straight business, will also be the fact that we've stacked our value. We truly have. So for the client who's really been soaking up, and rightfully so, the fact that, hey, if I'm comfortable, I can go in-house to TROT Fitness, get my workout on. Or if I don't want to do it, I can do a live streaming option now. I can do an on-demand option now. And the price point is relatively still the same for them. But we've worked double the amount, if this makes sense.
That's true.
So from just a sheer straight business perspective, how do we justify it to make sure that we're protecting our community, still serving them well, so that we can keep this going? Because we've added value, especially to the local client who can do both in-house and online.
Yeah.
So that's one thing. And then I'll end with this one too, because I can keep going on and on. But the third thing is just making our services different enough to the point to where people understand the difference between someone who is grassroots, homegrown, versus a Peloton and a Beachbody. And I believe the only way that we can truly be different is to show the advanced level of accountability that we're able to offer.
Right.
Because you can get free workouts anywhere, right? You can, everybody nowadays knows what a burpee is. So what makes me different than the Nisan's burpees online versus Shanti's burpees online? And hopefully I believe people will see the difference and be willing to vote with their dollars, because you can also get a nutrition consultation with me live via Zoom. You're also going to get a text message from my team asking, where were you on this day? And I think that's going to be the challenge of learning how to scale accountability.
Really, scale personal. Yeah, personalized, or make it. It's a boutique business at this point. I guess like everyone has to be boutique at this point, where you customize for. You have to meet people where they are. So that is the value that you provide. And that's why when you do go to a boutique, the pieces that are sold there, they're more expensive because they are much more personalized. You can customize, you can tailor it there, you can do all kinds of things there at that particular, if you're talking about like a fashion boutique. I don't want to keep Tina. I know, Tina, you have to jump off.
Oh, yes.
But
I wanted to add one more thing. I think
yes.
how us three, as Nisan was saying, is different is you have the Pelotons and you know, it's fun, but we will be contacting the client. If you haven't seen them for a while, we remember and we care. And that's like basically the big difference. Like you said, I love that, Nisan, that your team texts people like, hey, haven't seen you in class. Like we do that with Straight Up Strong if someone signs up, and because we'll take attendance. I'm like, I haven't seen her in like a week and a half or even like 3 weeks. I will send a message like, hey, is everything okay? Are you doing okay? And I know, Mel, you do that too. So I think that's right now, like exactly what you said, it's customized. It's upping the accountability. Like this is how we're different than a YouTube video, an Instagram live, some app. Like there's a gazillion workout apps, but they're not going to like care if you show up or don't show up. And we do.
Exactly.
Yes. So and I want to give you two continue though, because I think this conversation is so awesome.
I still want to give you an opportunity, Tina. I know if you want to promote anything, feel free. Like, go ahead. Do you have anything? You know, Valentine's is coming up. Do you have any special promo?
I think Straight Up Strong, we always do a challenge twice a year. So it's live online classes. We record all our classes and we send it out to our members. So that's how I guess we do the digital part. It won't be us working out. It feels like a class because we coach. We show the exercises, and then the rest of the class we're just. And I know you guys do the same. You're watching like, hey, so and so, make sure you straighten out your back. You know, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, head to straightupstrong.com.
Straightupstrong.com, and I know you're running a 7-day something.
We have 3 days of classes, and during the weekdays it's 3 classes that day. So like 6 a.m., noon, and 6 p.m. And then we have one on Saturdays. Yeah.
But she's getting ready to coach one of those classes.
I'm getting ready to coach one of those, and I'm looking forward to watching the rest of it because I want you two to
continue for sure. Thank you.
Nice
see you later,
Tina.
Bye.
Great to see you. Yeah. So I like that you brought up the accountability piece because that's what makes personal training, you know, if you're doing groups, especially, that's what would make it like you said, differentiates you from there's so much out there. And I don't know, I guess it's weird. I don't see everybody as competition. You know what I mean? Like I almost feel like there's 7 billion of us on the planet. And now that the planet has been opened up to us, like I can't serve 7 billion people.
Right.
McDonald's probably can, but you know, I can't serve 7 billion people.
And I think that's a like, you have a mindset that isn't a scarcity mindset, they call it. I think there is enough.
I think there's plenty. Yeah, there's plenty for us all.
No question.
To get into it and to capture those people and to keep and retain those clients, because what other things are you guys doing to help retain clients? Because that's a struggle.
That's challenging. It really is challenging because, you know, a part of it is trying to make sure everyone stays into the fold and they're not falling through the cracks instead. You know, we just had a couple of clients unfortunately cancel even as early as this morning, and part of that is due to the fact that when you scale down your team and you're still trying to push accountability, it becomes increasingly hard, because real accountability is really making sure you're not just saying, hey, where are you, but how can I serve you next?
Yes.
And that service attached to that is work. And we only have so many hours, we only have so much time throughout the course of the day to get that done.
Yeah.
So we're in the position of juggling juggling a lot of balls, and trying not to drop any of them. So for us, and to answer your question, the retention really comes from building a system that is scalable and meeting people's needs. And that's what we're really trying to produce right now. So we do have what we can consider someone on our team. Shout out to Jennifer Brubaker, who's the accountability queen right now. And we are surprised to this day how we've built that out since COVID to increase her level of responsibility, beyond just a text message. What are we doing to help the clients to know if they're performing well and
Yeah.
performing better?
Yep.
So we're still trying to figure it out. And will confess to you that we certainly haven't crossed all the T's and dotted all the I's, but we're working toward it.
Yeah. That's all we can do.
Yeah.
And I think the people that do stay with us. One thing I want to create a system. Doing a system is, I want to be able to create like a reward system for people
Mm-hmm.
who refer and things like that, and refer others, and still taking care of the people that we have.
Right.
But yeah, but building a scalable solution is
Mm-hmm.
the challenge right now. And I'm trying to build that right now with the
Yeah.
game plan, like something that can be, I can do it a little bit more. I don't have to be in it so much,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
and then still serve the clients.
Exactly.
So
Because one of the challenges is for us, Coach Mel, is simply there's some things that I'm gonna keep my lips zipped on right now, but that we're getting ready to launch that we've done before, but we're trying to now do it again in this new environment.
yeah,
That is a challenge, but we know that this is going to help with retention, is going to help keep clients engaged and focused on their goals. And so staying after the programming side of things and all
yeah,
other type of deliverables, make
yeah,
your program evolve in a way to still be in touch and not be outdated. And
yeah,
like from what you said earlier, this is a game. This is a game. This is the game that we sign up for when it comes to fitness, because everybody's just not readily, unfortunately, on this side of the world at least, just jumping in and saying, "Hey, I want to work out and eat healthy," And so
right,
you
right.
got to keep it intriguing.
That just doesn't happen.
No, no, it doesn't.
Yeah, that just doesn't happen. So, yeah. So, what predictions do you have? Like, do you have like? I mean, I'm thinking like for 2021, it's just going to be. It's kind of a continuation of 2020, where people are, they're going to want all of the things now. They're going to want all of it, like you said earlier.
Mhm.
I want to have the choice to be online. I want the choice to be in studio. I want the choice to be on demand, live, whatever. They're like, it's like I want all the things. So that being said, you know to your point earlier, how do you get people to do the things? Like, it's one thing to say I want
Mhm.
access to all of this now, and it's another to actually execute. And like, now I'm in a routine. Now I'm in a routine.
Yeah. Wow, that's a great question in terms of prediction as to what's next, because it's still volatile right now. I believe that it's not stable. The fitness industry, that is, as a whole, they are projecting to be 17 to 20% worth of growth online. And I think that's a fairly sizable number. There's still some people who have been waiting, in other words, sitting on their hands for people to come back and
Yeah,
for it to bounce back. So in-house is the thing. But now I believe the delay with the shutdowns and everything else in terms of people's willingness to return is going to still steadily, I believe, force people to be creative and go online, which is where I believe we'll see that uptick of 17 to 20% growth in the online space. But I also, and this is a fun question to answer. I think that also, if I am to like see through a crystal ball or something like that, I believe it's going to force fitness professionals in 2021 to really know who you are and what you want to be. You know, do you really truly, for instance, for me, like I've looked into it, and I could be this way, but I don't know if I want to be the personality type who the bus starts and stops with me. So I'm going to train you. You're going to get my app. You're going to get my nutrition. You're also going to get my fitness nutrition consultation. Yeah. I am your one-stop shop. I am the personality. You know, I am TROT Fitness. Like I've always learned, from me personally, if you want to go far, what is it? If you want to go alone, but if you want to go far, go together.
You gotta go.
Something like that. So I've always wanted to have a team, you know what I mean? Absolutely, to disperse responsibilities, so that no one person is familiar with just Nisan doing everything. The friction, I think, in the prediction that I'm making is that people will have to make a choice, especially given the monies that are coming into their fitness enterprise.
Yeah.
Can you afford to do it with a team so that the workload is equally distributed and you're casting a broader net? Or is finances dictating to you that you have to make a decision, and is this what you want to be of pulling in, but now you're kind of running the show because of what the market is doing? I think that's how I would answer that question. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, that does. Yeah. Though, I mean, the thing is, there's no right or wrong. And
true.
Like I was saying earlier, you got to be agile and in this business. And so there's no right or wrong way to do this. I think what we do have to do is, you know, really at the end of the day, listen to what the clients are saying. Really, like, what are they really saying? Not what are they saying with their mouths, right? But what are they really saying? So, for instance, I had to, you know, to do some the delivery to make groceries. I had to have it delivered for 2 weeks while I was quarantining, isolating. Now I'm spoiled. So I'm like, I
it's every D thing.
wanna go to the grocery store. So what am I saying with my mouth? Oh, I want to make groceries. Oh, I want to, you know, support, you know, my grocers or whatever. I want to see people. But what am I doing with my actions?
Exactly.
So I'm like, call the dumpling, call the Instacart. Like, you know, now it's like, what are people doing? And we have to pay attention to what people are actually doing, and instead of like what they're actually saying, you know? So that's one thing. So, but again, I don't think there's a right or wrong. I think you just have to be, like you said, just have a lot of pools in the water, right? You have your main focus, of course. For you, it's your, you know, for you, I believe it's your group classes, right? That's probably your main offer. And you want to focus and grow that. But then you have to have all the little things, the nutrition, the this and that, and
something.
You have to have all the things going.
Yeah, it's kind of like, the way I look at it is, and maybe this is a poor example, but I believe that folks will get the picture. It's like Walmart is obviously like a one-stop shop. And the reason why they've been around for a while is because if you really want to instantaneously be full while shopping at Walmart, you can duck off into their McDonald's, right? The McDonald's that's in there. But they aren't trying to be the best one-stop shop for food. They have that offering there so that if you want that quick fix, you can have it. But they're not going to be like a steak shop that's high priced. And you see what I'm saying? And so It's
Yes.
again, it's who
Correct.
you really want to be, and like you said, listening to what people are saying versus what they're actually doing. And
Doing
if you're nimble enough, you'll try to meet their needs and do it in a way to where it makes sense for you.
absolutely. Absolutely. And I'm trying to take the different, I mean, different, like you said, with Walmart, or
Mhm,
just taking their cues with with the, and I know that I know ShopRite had delivery service before. It
mhm.
was just now that it's been introduced, like with the online services and on demand has been introduced to so many people. Now it's like, oh, I can actually use this as well. But it's not like the grocery store is gonna go away. I'm never gonna go to it's
Right.
not like that.
So
But
so we hope.
yes, they will still be there, but you don't want to be left behind like Blockbuster, like
Right.
or where they're just not able to see that if we make these strategic alliances with people, if we can, still stay connected to, like, I stay connected to you guys, whatever, you
Mhm.
and Tina, in some way, um, but that we can deliver still health and fitness to people, um, in our own ways, of course, but also delivering, like you said, what they need, and delivering what they disguising it, you know, with what they want, right?
Right.
Delivering what
Right.
they need, disguising it with what they want. So, all right. So we are like already an hour in. I want to know, like, what are you looking forward to, Sir
In
Nissan?
in
What are you looking
2021
forward to in
regarding
2021?
fitness.
Fitness,
Wow.
personal,
Mhm.
whatever you you got the floor.
Okay. Well, I feel like in 2021, I made this joke before we got on that in fitness, you make it in fitness through this, you'll be made of steel. And I just think, for anyone, especially jumping into entrepreneurial endeavors in 2020/2021, it is like, wow, what a time to do this, because it's the hardest time. We make it through this though. Imagine how much stronger we'll be. So
Yeah.
for me, I believe I'm looking forward to creativity. I'm looking forward to how we pivot and how we adjust, because I still think that those things have to be done right now. I mean, we're certainly feeling it. We're not out of the clear right now. And for me, I'm looking forward to personally the type of person I'm becoming through this, because I want to make a clear distinction between something that I feel like our industry does. And I want you, let me know how
Yeah.
you feel about this, Mel. I like sometimes, because when you've been doing it, I guess for as long as I have at this point, like you get into your own head and you start to see certain trends and certain things that
Yeah.
maybe irk you in certain ways. But I believe that there's a difference between prescribing and subscribing. And I
Mm,
believe that there's a lot of times in fitness, especially, that there's more prescribing than there is subscribing from the fitness professional standpoint.
mm,
And so, for instance, we can talk about self-help and self-motivation, personal development all day. We're prescribing that for our clients, but are we
mm,
subscribing to it ourselves?
mm.
So I know for me, in order to persevere
Okay.
through this time, right, I have to subscribe to the exact
Yeah.
same things I'm telling my clients to do, to keep my head on strong, to be mentally focused and to persevere. So I've been actually
Yes.
through 2021, uh, been gangbusters with my own personal regimen and stuff like that, because I just don't want to just be handing out prescriptions all the time and then feel
Yeah.
hypocritical.
Good point. Good point. Very
Yeah.
good point. I think that's where I'm headed as well. Like,
Mhm.
just yeah, talk, you can talk the talk all day, right?
Right. Yeah.
And like I would mention briefly, like the game plan in my program is an accountability program, and so
Mhm.
everyone's on this schedule, and I send out texts, everybody gets, like, I'm checking in and things like that. And I had to put myself on the game plan, because I was like,
Right. Yeah.
you gotta like, well, not only I wanted to see what they were going through, but that's actually how it started, was like, I kind of created this spreadsheet or whatever.
That's cool.
And so it's, yeah, talking the talk is, and walking the walk is I like that. I like that for 20. That's a great thing that a lot of fitness professionals need to now. People actually now they really want to see you do it.
They
Like
really want
before,
to see you.
they did want to see you do it, and then that might motivate them. But now they really kind of have to see you doing what you do.
Yeah, because now it's the fly on the wall experience that's selling. And if
Yes.
we're gonna offer at-home services, and you can really in the Zoom background see their home where they're working out, their fitness stuff. What about you let us into your life? You know what I mean? A little
True
bit more.
indeed.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Nisan, if you had told me that my living room would look like this, if you had told me this when I started, if you told me this, I would have been like, then I'm not gonna be a coach, because there's no
Right.
way you're gonna come
Yeah.
into my home.
Yeah.
I need
Yeah.
boundaries, blah blah blah. But I'll tell you what, like it was I started in March, and I think I moved the couch out
Mm-hmm.
in April. Like the couch left, and it is nothing has taken up this space. This is it. This
I
is
love
where
it.
I coach. I got my life. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And if you told me that you would be in my house,
Mm-hmm.
there's no way I would have been doing this.
But you
Because
made the
I'm
adjustment.
extremely private, right? I'm
Right.
a fiercely private person. So
Mhm.
that you even see this little bit,
Right.
you're lucky. I'm just kidding.
Consider yourself
I'm
blessed.
kidding. Exactly. Oh my gosh. But I like that. I love that. I love that. I'm gonna definitely take that to heart. What you just said is prescribe versus
Subscribe.
subscribe.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is definitely what a lot of. Oh yeah, I like that.
Thank you.
So, Nissan, do you have anything you want to plug, go for, like
Mhm.
promote? What you
Sure.
got?
I mean, when you mentioned that to Tina, my wheels got to churning, and I wasn't quite prepared to do this prior to our time, but I'm certainly going to do it now because I really want TROT Fitness, our services, to be a resource to those who might deem it so. And so thank you for this opportunity. We were close to shutting this down, but I'm going to open it up to anyone who online might want to test drive who it is that we are. And so if you go to the bit.ly link, which is bit.ly forward slash all caps fat shutdown. That's bit.ly forward slash, and then in all caps, fat shutdown. You'll be able to, for 21 days, do our fat shutdown program. It's just a play on words. When we were actually shut down, we wanted to still say to anyone who wanted to test drive TROT Fitness to like basically had the hashtag fat shutdown, because we are still going to demolish fat even during this time. And you'll see how to be a part of our application services and get our online workouts, on demand and live streaming workouts. We also provide a food guide as well to help you. And then we'll throw in some personal touches with accountability too.
Awesome. That sounds good. Like how long is that program?
So, yep, it's a 21-day program. Here's the
21
best
days.
part, and it's only $49.
$49, 21 days to get started. Fat shutdown, bit.ly forward slash fat shutdown. You can also go, I'll pull up the your handles again in the YouTube. On the YouTube, I'm gonna put all of you guys information, including the information on your program.
Yeah, and just make sure fat shutdown is in all caps.
Fat shutdown has to be in all caps. Okay, so it's definitely it's a cap, it's sensitive. Okay. And I do feel one day we're gonna talk, you and me, Nisan, because what you said, you kind of picked something here where you mentioned, I feel you have a certain brand of fitness that I feel you can certify. Ooh. You can create your own certification with
Come on with it. Let's take this.
I think that's what a lot of the people like you and others who have stayed afloat and have even thrived during this whole thing, it's because you have a brand of fitness, and it's something that you can actually, you can coach it to other people, to other people who maybe want to be a group fitness coach as well.
Really cool.
And there's just not enough of that. I feel there's not enough of like enough people who do a really great job, like at what they do. Like your coaches, basically, like they're top notch because of the brand of fitness that you have, and of course, their personalities as well.
Right.
But if you created some sort of certification, I don't know.
Okay.
Subscribe into your brand. But I think that's why you've been able to be where you are, is because you have a unique brand, and that can be scalable too. So let's chat, because I really think that could be something that you can definitely look into. It's certifying.
Very
TROT.
cool.
Certified TROT.
You throwing that bug in my ear.
I'm TROT certified. You can't touch me.
There you go.
Well, thank you again. I don't want to keep you. We're over time. I really appreciate your time, and thank you so much. Good luck to you. God bless you and everything. Like, I'm sure this year is going to be even bigger.
Well, before I hop off, I just want to ask you real briefly, and maybe if we have to do it offline, we can. Is there any way I can be serving you and helping you to promote what you're doing? Because I'm just super thankful for the platform and that you invited me on.
Oh, for sure. Like, I'll post the links. I'm gonna post them everywhere. So
okay, and then just share.
You'll be tagged on everything, and this is another thing that grew out of the pandemic too. I was like, well, I like talking to people, and I'm already doing it with these Zoom meetings and things like that all the time. So, I thought it would be a good way to just kind of get to know people more, and share those voices that don't necessarily get heard in the mainstream. I feel
right on.
So,
I love it.
Thank you.
You're awesome, Mel. Thank you. Thank you.
No, you are. Okay. All right. So we'll talk offline. Definitely have to chat about the certification thing. I really think I have a strong feeling about that.
Cool.
All right, sir. Take care.
All right. See you.
To the family for me.
I will do.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone. Thanks for watching.